Sky was a kind and friendly little owlet. He had soft, bluish-grey feathers and big, beautiful owl eyes that glowed in the dark. Sky looked like other little owls, except that he was different. Sky couldn't talk the way the other forest animals could. All he could say was, "Hoo." That was all right, because his mummy, Neblina, always seemed to know what he meant and seemed to know everything about her little owl. Sky also didn't eat meat the way other owls do. The texture and taste made him feel uncomfortable, so Neblina took him foraging for fruits and veggies in the forest. Sky was shy and timid because he knew that the other forest critters thought he was odd. It could be hard because Sky understood how different he was. He was curious about the other animals in the forest, but didn't know how to communicate with them. All he could say was, "Hoo." As a result, Sky spent most of his time with Neblina. That was okay with Sky, because he was most comfortable with his mum. One day, while running errands with his mother in the forest, Sky heard the other animals talking. They were afraid. Animals were disappearing from the forest, and no one knew why. "Eli the squirrel was here one moment, and then I never saw him again," said Ralph, another squirrel. "And it's not just squirrels," Minnie the raccoon said. "Birds, raccoons, even snakes. They are all just going missing." "Oh dear," said Neblina. "Let's go home. I don't want anything to happen to my precious baby." "Hoo," Sky twittered. Sky followed his mother back to their cozy tree home. As the days went on, they continued to hear stories of animals disappearing from the forest. Neblina was terribly worried for her little owlet. If something happened, how would Sky be able to call for help? Neblina had tried to avoid leaving their home, but their food storage was dwindling. They had to go out and find food for Sky. They found a raspberry bush not far from their tree, and it was full of ripe berries. As Sky picked a berry, he saw something through the branches. "Hoo," Sky said, and pointed with his wing. Looking closely, Neblina saw that Sky had discovered a box. It was covered with leaves and camouflage cloth. They flew down for a closer look. Sky has superpowers. In the box was a bunny. "Can you please help me?" asked the bunny sadly. "I thought I was getting a delicious carrot, and then the door closed and I couldn't get out." "Hoo," said Sky. Sky seemed to know exactly how to open the trap and release the little bunny in no time. "Thank you so much," the bunny said. "I'm Rob. I thought I was a goner." "You are welcome," Neblina said. "Sky, how did you see that?" "Hoo," Sky chirped. "We need to warn the other animals about these traps," Rob said. Neblina called the other forest animals together and explained how Sky had found the trap and the rabbit. "Oh dear," said Minnie the raccoon. "I bet that is not the only trap in the forest." "Sky was able to find this trap," Rob said. "I wonder if he could find the others." "Hoo," Sky volunteered. As they travelled through the forest, Sky pointed out the other traps to the animals. There were a lot of traps. They were in bushes, trees, and even under logs. Sky was able to find each one. Sky removed the camouflage that kept the traps hidden so the animals would never stumble into them again. The other animals in the forest no longer thought that Sky was odd. Now they thought he had superpowers because he could see what they could not. Now the other animals thought Sky was interesting and important. They learned that Sky's eyes were more sensitive to colors and patterns. They also discovered that Sky was kind and thoughtful and cared about others. The other animals in the forest not only celebrated Sky's superpowers, but they also decided to include him and to help him when he needed it. All the neighbors helped to find Sky delicious fruits and veggies to eat, and if they had something that interested him, they shared. For the forest critters, it was nice to have a superhero in the forest. For Sky, it was wonderful to be included and celebrated.